Today, we're taking a look at the cultural impact of Scottish author S.R.Crockett. But we're not going to do it by looking at book sales or dusty reviews. Instead, we're going to explore it through two incredible encounters that really chart his rise to fame. One with the powerful Chancellor of Germany, and the other with a celebrated British war hero.
So here's a question for you. How do you really measure an author's influence? I mean, bestseller lists and critics' columns, they only tell you part of the story, right? Sometimes the true resonance of a writer's work, it doesn't show up in a ledger, it shows up in a single, really revealing moment.
And S.R.Crockett is a perfect case study for this. His story gives us the answer in the form of two meetings, almost 2 decades apart. And together, they show his journey from just a young guy observing the world to a real cultural force.
Okay, so our story starts, believe it or not, high up in the Alps, not in some fancy literary club. This first encounter, which is really defined by the powerful gaze of Otto von Bismarck, it kind of serves as our starting point for Crockett's early pre-fame career.
So picture this. It's the early 1880s. Long before he's a well-known novelist, Crockett is just a young traveling tutor. For fun, he goes mountaineering, and his winter climbs in the Tyrol get the locals talking. They start calling him and his pupil the Mad Englanders. Well, word of this eccentric climber reaches none other than the German Chancellor, Otto von Bismarck, who just happens to be staying nearby. He's so intrigued, he actually summons Crockett to meet him, telling him to come exactly as he is, ice axes and all.
Now, listen to Crockett's own words about this meeting. The focus is completely on the impression Bismarck made on him. This is not a meeting of equals, not at all. It's a young, totally unknown man being sized up by a titan of European politics. You can feel the power dynamic in his description of that stare, like gimlets driving right through you.
So the key takeaway here is that this encounter was a personal milestone for Crockett, but it wasn't a public one. At this point, he's the observer. He's the one being impressed upon. The meeting was a private brush with greatness, and it was all about Bismarck's status, not Crockett's. Remember that dynamic, because it's about to get flipped on its head.
All right, let's jump forward nearly 20 years to 1899. Crockett is no longer an unknown tutor. He's a literary celebrity. And in this second encounter, the dynamic we just saw is about to be completely inverted. All thanks to a little praise from Lord Kitchener.
The setting here tells you everything you need to know. Lord Kitchener, fresh from his victory at the Battle of Omdurman, is being honored in Edinburgh. The guest list is a who's who of the British establishment. We're talking lords, generals, politicians, and right there among them, as an official guest of honor, is Mr. S.R.Crockett. He wasn't summoned out of curiosity this time. He was formally invited and seated right next to the man of the hour.
So when Crockett is introduced, Kitchener's face just lights up. He blurts out, "Good heavens, are you the fellow who wrote The Gray Man?" And then he drops this bombshell. The night before his most famous, most decisive battle, it was Crockett's novel that steadied his nerves. Just wow. And what makes this tribute so incredibly powerful is who it came from. Kitchener was a famously tough military man. People called him brusque and difficult. He was absolutely not known for being a keen reader. So for this man to offer such hearty, spontaneous praise, well, it makes this testament to the book's impact incredibly significant.
So now, let's put these two moments side by side. Because when you do, they tell one single amazing story. The rise of an author from a nobody to a true cultural force.
I mean, look at this. The transformation is just stark. With Bismarck, Crockett's a young tutor, the meeting is pure chance, the impression is totally one way, and the result? A private memory for him. Now with Kitchener, Crockett is a famous author, the meeting is a formal invitation, the impression is made by Crockett, and the outcome is a public testament to his cultural impact. It's a complete 180.
Okay, so this brings us to Crockett's real cultural footprint. That meeting with Kitchener in particular, it gives us 3 really clear markers of just how significant he was at the turn of the 20th century.
It really boils down to 3 things. First, widespread readership. His books were clearly reaching far beyond the usual literary crowd. to men of action like Kitchener. Second, you see a profound psychological impact. His storytelling offered tangible steadiness to a general right before a massive battle. And third, elite social standing. His fame had earned him a literal seat at the table with some of the most powerful people in the empire.
And the connection didn't even stop there. Crockett, like a true artist, absorbed this experience and turned it back into literature. In a novel published after his death, The White Pope, a character named Lord Carow shows up, a clear nod to Kitchener of Carthun. It shows an artist who is actively engaging with the great figures and events of his time.
So you see, the story of Crockett and Kitchener gives us this rare, concrete way to measure an author's impact. It's a powerful reminder that a story's reach is often so much wider, and its effect so much deeper than we can ever really know. Which leaves us with a final thought to chew on. What does it truly say about the power of storytelling when a simple novel can steady a general on the eve of a major battle?